And you've seen the sights of Western Branch Lanes. Hello again, everybody, along with Brian Robinson. I'm Dave Lamont, and we welcome you to Chesapeake, Virginia, and Western Branch for the Booster Club of Hampton Roads Open, another super regional here on the PBA Tour. And it's always good when Brian's here. It's also bad when Brian's here, which means while he did make through the first cut, the second cut, of course, this was narrow. We went from 120 boulders to 8 like that.
Yeah, it was a very interesting format. It was they took the top 40, and then we bowled another 6 games to get to the top 8. And yeah, you know, those top 8 guys, they were striking a lot. So trying to catch them was very difficult.
Yeah, no, but you had an outstanding day today, though, in making yet another cut. So, Brian, we're down to 4, and the first match we're going to see the experienced right-hander Tom Doherty against the man dubbed by Rob Stone the Ginger Assassin, Anthony Nair. It's lefty-righty. 2 lefties, 2 righties. How is this house going to break down, do you think?
Well, it's interesting. It's a 37-foot pattern, but it's playing pretty tight. A lot of urethane was being thrown this week. In fact, everybody is going to be throwing urethane on this show, and it's going to be interesting to see because we have a dynamic of 2 lefties and 2 righties on the show. So we'll see how it breaks down.
And we'll tell you about the other boulders in a minute and about this pattern. And Tom, who had a 300 today, leaves a sleeper on the left lane 27. 27-28, that's the right end of the house. This is a 40-lane establishment, a popular one. The PBA has been here many times. And Tom, who's been kind of hovering around getting on these shows the last couple of weeks, is able to break through.
Yeah, he's been bowling really good, and it's surprising that he hasn't been able to get on a show yet. But, you know, it's tough out here, you know.
There's a lot of talent
Yes.
and a lot of big-name bowlers who didn't make this show. And we'll tell you all about that as well. Got some catching up to do here. But let's talk for a second about the 37-foot Viper pattern that we have here.
Yeah, it's 37 feet, and most of the time the gutter is usually pretty playable, but it's a little tricky. The gutter doesn't really peel off of here very well, so the guys are kind of forced more into like the 5-6 zone down lane. And they need to use a little bit more surface than normal because it's a little bit tighter than your normal. Like it feels like it's almost 42 or 43 feet versus 37. So it's a lot more surface, a lot of urethane, and you'll notice the guys aren't really throwing it super hard either. You know, they're really they have to stay a little softer to get the ball to read because if it blows through the pattern, you have no chance.
Our number 2 seed is the 17-year-old, already with 2 regional titles, Eric Jones. You may have seen him last year in Jonesboro. And the number 1 seed, Tim Foy Jr. Meantime, a double and a strong one there for the lefty.
Yeah, great start for Anthony.
He threw that one kind of hard.
Yeah, he's moved a little bit left. He was circling it earlier, and it looks like he's moved a little left and a little firmer. But Tom's going to be throwing it very slow, and he's going to really roll it. And he's going to be around like second arrow to about 7-6 down lane.
Were you runner-up for highest game? You had a 288 today. He had the perfect game.
Yeah, I was lobbying for some high game jackpots, you know, for that game, but no one seemed to want to put in the money. So
you're going to see Doherty flush there on the right-hand lane. And he told me earlier this afternoon that he's happy they're on either the left side of the house or the right side of the house. He just didn't want to be in the middle. That's where he felt he struggled. But he's confident the higher the lane numbers get, the better he thinks his chances are. So we're on 27-28 out of 40.
Yeah, I think the middle of the house is a little tricky. You know, it's I always look for where the front desk is. And
that's what he said.
And if you look where the front desk is, that's where generally most of the play is in the center. So generally it's going to be a lot more friction, a lot trickier near the front desk.
Ooh, a snap hook into the pocket at the last second for Tom. So, and no strikes yet on the left lane here.
Yeah, he went light and made an adjustment. Looked like he moved a little right, got a little slower, and it just about almost 10 feet sooner it seemed like, and just dove through the nose.
Out of our 4 in this stepladder here in Virginia, Tom is the only one with national titles. He has 4 of those, and of course the 2021 World Championship. He also owns 20 regionals, and that is the most of anyone in this group by a lot.
He's the old man on the show.
Except for me.
Yeah, well, I wasn't going to bring that up.
No, that's okay. It's just sitting there. I'll knock it out of the park for you. And Tom was very quick to remind me of that as well, as we both were alarmed by the age of Eric Jones on the show.
Yeah, weren't you guys saying you have kids older than him?
Not even any question. Oof, boy, a solid 3 in a row for Anthony.
Yeah, he looked confident this week. I mean, you could just see it, like even in qualifying and then in the prior rounds. You could just see he has that look of, you know, when he finds what he likes to do and he can do what he can. He's almost unbeatable. It's amazing how good he is at such a young age.
How many purple puns can we work in today? Because this is the sequel to the famous movie, The Color Purple.
Well, you were going to play Purple Rain earlier,
I
right?
asked if they had Purple Rain from Prince in the house. You can call this the Prince Memorial Tournament, the Minnesota Vikings preseason. You name it. Yes, the famed Purple Hammer will be on display today.
Yeah, and that's really what most of the guys that had success this week. They threw either, you know, Purple Hammer or just some urethane ball this week.
Bucket.
Yeah, it looked like he got just a little fast on that one, didn't quite catch it. And even though he's moved a little further left and trying to use a little more speed, you still can't overthrow it on this. Otherwise, it's going to go blow by it like that last shot.
Came in light, and he ends up with a wraparound 10 in the last game. There were 3 games bowled right around 1 o'clock Eastern time to nail down the top 4. He ended up getting stuck with a 7-10, but had enough of a lead, and this almost happened here, that it didn't hurt him ultimately.
Yeah, the lanes were just getting tricky. I think, you know, he had enough of a lead that it was going to be hard for people to catch him in that last round.
You see an excellent crowd here in Chesapeake, Virginia. We're about 22 miles from Virginia Beach. Hampton Roads area is where we are, not far from Norfolk. And this area very passionate about the sport.
Yeah, it's a great crowd. The people are wonderful all week, cheering, supporting. It's been awesome.
Oh, wow, yeah. Wide right, and it didn't come back. Now, previously, did he not snap one in on the prior shot?
Yeah, I mean, the last shot really dug in early, and I think he was afraid to make the ball read too quickly, and he just didn't really catch the holes on that one. And you can see right there, that was a perfect example. Even though it's a shorter pattern, you had to be slow, and you had to make sure you catch it at the bottom. Otherwise, you were going to be doing this.
2, 4, 6, 10. No, he knew. He knew that he didn't have a chance at it. And so the door open here for Nair, who's had an unusual start. You usually don't follow a triple with a bucket.
Well, most left-handers are weird anyway, so.
Well, said the right-handed two-hander. Woof, boy, that is just perfection from Nair, one-time member of Team USA.
Yeah, I like the jersey. He's got the America flag rolling and everything.
He's had a kind of a quiet summer. First time we've seen him on the super regional circuit, and he just walks right in and makes the show.
Yeah, it's interesting. We had a regional earlier this week in Hampton, and you know, he struggled, and I think it gave him the motivation to bowl really well this week.
Yep, kick save and a beauty on the 7. So 5 out of 6 for the lefty, and he's opened up a healthy lead on Tom.
Yeah, Tom's going to need to, he pretty much needs to strike out to have any chance, I feel like, because it's going to be, Anthony's not going to miss too many more times this match.
Eric Jones warming up, you heard that in the background. And Tom smothers the pins on lane number 28. Now he's got to go to the left lane, which has been a real pain in the back.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do, if he's going to try to be a little right and firmer, or if he's just going to get really slow and see if that'll make the ball get into the pocket.
And this is a difficult situation. He over-adjusted on the last shot.
Oh, he got really slow and really got on it there. You could even see he really grabbed it because you see he got it over the foul line a little bit more. He really grabbed the holes there to make it hook.
Well, he's on his way to going off the sheet, but you're right. Just looking at the scores and projecting what may happen. Tom in a little bit of trouble here, the way Doherty looks. Excuse me, the way Nair looks. Quitter 7. One of the things I've noticed about Anthony is just the way he's carried himself around here today. Just with a lot of confidence.
Yeah,
his body language, all of it.
Yeah, he's really, you know, when he's confident, it's amazing how he can just strike when he sees the right picture. And, you know, I've known him for a while. He's just a good individual, good person, and really, when he's got that carefree, just kind of swagger, he's tough to beat.
Averaged just about 234 if you want to round up. Doherty averaging 229. 17 games. Again, these super regionals are sprints. These are not marathons. And, you know, explain why a good start is paramount in these short events. And another 7 straight up. So at the end of the first round, which was yesterday, the cut that Brian made, Tim Foy Jr., who's the number 1 seed, was 3rd. Eric Jones was 2nd. He is the number 2 seed. Anthony was 9th, and Tom was 4th. At the end of the cut today, Tim 1, Jones 2, Nair 4, Doherty 3, and the only thing that switched was Anthony ended up as the number 3 seed and Tom 4. So if you do not get off to a fast start, you are in big trouble.
Well, you're bowling basically half the tournament in qualifying almost. So if you don't get any pins there, it's almost hard to make up any ground. And yeah, I mean you can be close and have a chance, but if you're way back, you might as well just say goodbye.
Well, you were telling me that you know it affected the way you were thinking. You were sort of in the middle of that top 40, and you made an equipment change, realizing you had to change something.
Yeah, I mean, I was around I don't know, like 25th or something, and I was like, with 3 games to go, I gotta just go for the gusto here. If I don't shoot like 800, almost, it felt like I had no chance to make the top 8. You know, if we had more games, maybe I would have been a little more conservative, but the format definitely forced my hand.
And you rolled that 288, so the impossible dream. The 2-8-10 for Doherty, and this one on the right-hand lane.
Yeah, it looked like he just didn't quite get all of that. Like he was trying to hit it, and it just looked like it kind of missed it a little bit off his hand. And it doesn't look like he has a whole lot of room. He's not really seeing the picture right, and it's just not there for him right now.
Well, he's just about shut out.
Yeah, he's going to need a miracle at this point. Yeah, if Anthony has this look, he's going to be tough to beat today.
Well, we have one other lefty, though, and we're headed for the Lefty Duel because Tim Foy Jr., of course, from the right side, sitting in that number 1 seat.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost, for Tim, it's almost, it's got to be a big thing for him to be the 1 seed. I think if he had to bowl the next match or he had to bowl the first match like Tom did, I think it would be not quite as advantageous. Now that the 2 lefties are going to have to bowl each other, they might go through some transition, and it might actually help Tim in that title match.
So Anthony Nair is going to win this game and move on against Eric Jones, so Youth will be served in this next match. And that's okay. That's not going to hurt him whatsoever. So we're going to get a couple of lefties throwing urethane facing off in our next game with the winner to take on Tim Foy Jr. here. We're in Western Branch Lanes, rather, in Chesapeake, Virginia. I'm Dave Lamont. We have Luis and Natalie, our co-producers here on YouTube for the PBA. And Brian Robinson is graciously joining us again after cold water.
Yeah.
You could stuff a couple of cold waters in this place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cold water, a beautiful, intimate 16, we call it a 16-seater, but 16-lane house. It was our stop last week, and a popular stop at that. Here we're 40 lanes, a giant billiard room, It's a huge, huge place. Laser tag, which I think maybe we should, in case of a roll-off, instead of roll-off, we should put them in the laser tag room and see what happens.
I like it. I think that's. I think the PBA needs to implement that right away.
And then, I don't know, again, you have to give the younger guys probably have more experience at laser tag.
Yep, that's probably true, too. Yeah, and both of these kids can't even order a beer yet. That's how young it is. It's is this the youth tour or is this the PBA tour? I'm not sure which one it is.
Got a good point there. That's right. And Tom will take his 4th place check. Good to see that he made a show. Always great to have him on. And folks in Virginia appreciate the veteran from Florida. So while we have a second, let's go ahead and just throw out some other finishers, some names that folks will recognize. First off, just finishing out 5 through 8, Matt Taylor shot a 199 in game number 5. He had a chance to overtake Doherty, but ended up about. So you get a look at Eric Jones, whopping 17 years old, carries himself older when you sit down and talk to him.
Yeah, I've crossed with him a couple times and had several conversations with him. He's what do they say? Wise among his years. What wise, you know?
Yep.
And he doesn't let things bother him. He just kind of does his own thing, and it's amazing how well he's bowling at such a young age. And once he gets out here on the full time on the PBA tour, he's going to be a handful.
Yeah, he is.
Hopefully it's a while. Hopefully he takes his time.
Like goes to college, let him bowl collegiately, get Wichita to sign him or someplace like that. And
maybe go for a doctorate. Spend a few more years.
Or at least maybe a master's.
Yeah, master's.
Yeah, he has 2 regional titles already. One as a non-member. In Mooresville, in a regional, he finished 2nd to Kyle Troop. He averaged 235.76 in his 17 games. It was never worse than 2nd. He was 2nd, 2nd, and 2nd. So he's been around the entire time. If you remember the name, and you may have seen him on the air on Flow Bowling last year in Jonesboro, Arkansas, in the regional there. And it was won by Matt Russo. And actually, that wasn't a regional. That was a full-fledged stop.
Yes.
That's right. That was a full-fledged stop. And he made that show. And so he has experience. I don't think the environment here, and again, a good crowd on hand at Western Branch Lanes. And credit to these folks because they had to wait over an hour by the time the final qualifying games were finished before the stepladder began. And they dug in and grabbed some food and hung in.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the environment's going to get to him. I think he's bold enough and kind of got the feel of the environment. The first time he made the stepladder at Jonesboro, you could tell the nerves were there, but you can tell now he's more seasoned. Hard to say that about a 17-year-old,
yes.
But
but you're right.
He's more seasoned, and I think he's going to have he's going to put on a good show against Anthony here.
Eric out of Edmond, Oklahoma, and there's a 2 seed. And Anthony will be first up, it looks like, and he'll be finishing on the right lane. We were joking with these guys. What if you grab the wrong bowling ball? As you can see for yourselves, folks, it is just painted purple down there.
Yeah, it makes it hard if they switch bowling balls and they go to another purple one. How am I supposed to know?
Well, and you know what? Eric Jones will do that. Meantime, Nair sweeps aside the 7 to get things started. And talking with Eric, he's got a 15-pounder and a 16-pounder. We asked him to wave a flag or something for when he switches, but I believe he's going to start 15. And then we'll switch. He's pretty confident he's going to end up switching before this game is over.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of what the lanes transition with him and Anthony bowling this match. It wouldn't surprise me if he tried to go with the little bit stronger one, more surface. Right now he's starting with the one with a little bit less surface, and let's see what happens here.
And a messenger shows up. First one we've seen today.
That was a good shot starting out. It's a little deeper than Anthony. He's about second arrow to about 3. A little bit slower ball speed than Anthony. Yeah, it looks, I mean, you could just see it's a sea of purple down
It
there on
is.
that ball rack.
It is. And that's not going to change. Gotta go. Boy.
Oh, it did.
Whew. I thought that might hang out there, but it did not, and a light hit works perfectly.
Yeah, he got that one a little wide, but, you know, I think the little bit slower ball speed helped him get that ball to recover down lane.
Again, in the background, you might hear Tim Foy Jr. warming up. Well, you thought we might see some high scores, and this might be the match to deliver them.
Yeah, I think they're, you know, Anthony's getting comfortable. I think I think they're actually helping each other almost with the way they play the lanes. They haven't really done anything to try to hurt one another. I think if anything, they're going to make them better now. So
I was going to ask you that as this match went on, and whether you think there's that sort of game within a game that you get two guys on the same side.
I think they're just trying to bowl their own game and just shoot. I don't think they're worried about trying to mess up one guy or the other. I think they were more trying to make sure that they were lined up and just put out the best score they can. Otherwise, you would have seen maybe some different strategy in practice and stuff like that. So now let's see what Mr. Jones does here.
Uh-oh. Did he take the wrong ball? I don't think so.
Oh, he did. He did.
It happened.
It did happen. Wow.
Well, you know, we're kind of chuckling, but at the same time, if you've been with us, you can't be totally surprised at that happening.
Well, he told me that he had the same layout on both of them, so it's really hard to tell the difference. He said only the grip on the one is a little bit different, so you can tell the difference.
Ooh,
wow.
Boy, that looked like a pretty shot.
Yeah, that was really good off his hand. And I was wondering how he would react after, you know, picking up the wrong ball. You know, sometimes your mind goes elsewhere. If you're not thinking about picking up the right ball, all of a sudden it's like, okay, what's going to happen? But he threw a good shot there.
Yeah, he has a lot of poise, again, for his age. Now, being out here against this competition, these guys will make you grow up fast.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Now, that one wasn't purple, Dave.
No, not on the spare balls. Yeah, there are lots of stories that players have of their welcome to the tour moments.
And there's even a purple banner up there above the pair. That's just a sign, right?
It's just too much purple. I am not in purple today. I should have been, but if I have a purple jacket, I'll be living alone. So, since I like being married, I'm not going to have a purple jacket in my closet.
It's not the look you were going for?
No,
okay.
no. Well, I might be okay with it, but well, good mixer. So he's nailed mixers on that left lane, and then throws a flush ball in 28 and can't get a break.
Yeah, that one looked a little better than the last one, and it still went by it a little bit, but still was able to recover enough to get the light mixer. So that left lane must be just a little tighter for him.
And I don't know whether something happened. Yeah, Tim dropped something. He dropped his bowling ball, Tim Foy Jr., and that slowed Anthony down a second. And, okay. Okay, disaster averted.
Yeah, Tim can't be doing that to his roommate. I mean, that doesn't seem like a good idea.
Total accident. Again, they were at 27-28. You see Tim there in the green shirt in the background. 35-36 is the practice pair, and he was over there, and Anthony looked in that direction, and then I saw that Tim had dropped the ball. No trouble.
Yeah, it wasn't his best shot there. He just kind of grabbed that one and just tried to help it. So.
$10,000 to the winner of this Super Regional.
And you can see the laser tag back there in the background there.
I'm telling you right now, instead of bringing in Kirk Von Kruger to explain the rules of the roll-off, it is time to go to the laser tag room in case we need one. Oh, boy. Count the splits, folks. How many got broken up before he wound up with just that 6-pin? Let's count them all together here because you're going to first see a big 4. There, and then, man, about 3 that went by the boards, leaving him with a very makeable spare.
Yeah, that was a good shot. It looked like the ball slowed down just a little bit too quick on him. I think he was even surprised that it jumped on him that much, so he'll have to either try to use a little bit more speed or just get into the oil a little bit more.
So after opening with 3, Nair has a couple of close calls for disaster, but ends up with single pins and makes them both. And he is talking to Tim Foy. Stop, drop bowling balls, please.
Guys are good friends. They room out on the tour.
Big hit that time for Eric.
Yeah, great shot. Yeah, this was a really good shot. You could just see he posted it. Excellent shot.
Seeing more and more of the two-handed lefties out there. They're younger. We had Spencer Robarge a couple of weeks ago in Jonesboro with that style. Of course, Jesper Svensson on the tour has been magnificent over the years. You see a Ryan Simonelli, a one-handed lefty, and there are fewer and fewer of those.
Yeah, I think all the kids, they see all the two-handers, and that's what they want to do because, you know, they can hook it right away, and they see how much they can do it, how much they can hook it, and it's a lot of fun.
Perfect for Eric Jones, and he has dropped 3 in a row.
Another good shot. Let's see what Mr. Anthony Nair can do here.
Good looking. Oh, boy. Another 6-pin. That one, not a scary one. As the others were splits had to be broken up. That was just a solid hit, maybe just 1/8 of a centimeter too high.
Yeah, I think it's just starting to break down for him in the front a little bit. Even that one checked earlier. It looked like he moved just a little right, and it still really came off the spot hard. So.
Well, you mentioned earlier the two-handers, lefties, starting to see more of those. I remember being at Junior Gold about 3 years ago for a couple of days there, and out of the boys, it had to be 90% two-handed. Both sides. You know, there were a few one-handers, but not many.
No, the kids, they like to hook it right away. And this is a ball change, actually. He's going to resin, and he's really opening the lane up. Oh, he missed way left.
So what would be the thought behind that? Because it's not as if he's really floundering. I mean, he's losing, but still.
I was a little shocked he went to it. I thought he might have just tried to move a little bit with the purple ball. He was close on the last shot, just a 4-pin. He must just be feeling a lot of friction. Really felt like he needed to open the lane up.
All right. That's not the easiest shot in the world with that 5-pin back there, but well done by Nair. But after opening with 3 in a row, he's had to convert 4 straight spares to hang around Eric Jones. And he's managed to do that. Now he's going to talk to Foy briefly. But Eric Jones in a good position here.
Yeah, he's looking good here. His last couple of shots have been really solid.
269 max for the 17-year-old. Oh, the body language told everything you needed about that shot.
He knew it. He knew it as soon as he let go of it. That was going to be a strike. That was another great shot.
If you're just joining us, Anthony Nair, who's in the background there, defeated Tom Doherty in our opening match. This is match number 2. Only one more to go after this in the Super Regional on YouTube, on the PBA YouTube channel. Oh, he is
Wow.
locked in right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's just copy and paste. I mean, you just put it on replay. I mean, just making shot after shot. It's interesting. He's trying to go with this ball. Let's see what he does here.
Ooh, crossed over on him and actually went Brooklyn.
That's why a lot of guys didn't really throw resin this week. It didn't really lay off, and it didn't really give any recovery when you missed for left-handers left. So that's why they primarily threw the urethane ball. But maybe he felt like he had to take a chance because Eric can strike out for 279.
One more time, and still can't get it to strike. This time he leaves the sleeper back there, so he's got a 3-9 staring at him, and just you can see the confusion on his face.
Yeah, I think he was close with the urethane ball early. I was, like I said, just very surprised he went to this.
Well, I'll be honest, in talking to a couple of guys, no one mentioned anything about throwing resin. Tom Doherty being one of them, he thought it was all urethane. He said you kind of have to do it here. And you mentioned that. You and I were talking. We talked about urethane. Eric mentioned urethane. Nye are breaking the pattern in an effort to shake things up, but it looks like it's not going to work.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the shots that Eric threw to the right or if it was Anthony's doing or just the lanes just transitioning. But he definitely got confused by what he saw when his ball started hooking early.
Well, still going to be okay, I believe. Yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he should still be fine.
Yeah. In fact, Anthony's max is 211. But that's just caught everybody by surprise here because he had been, as you can see on the score, ripping this place to shreds. Oh, went for it. I like that.
Yeah.
So it will be Eric Jones against Tim Foy Jr. for the title here in the PBA Booster Club of Hampton Roads Championship. "10 months of planning for the two events in this area." So,
Yeah, the PBA Booster Club, they do such a great job. It's amazing, the effort and everything that they do towards this event.
long list of sponsors they have. There you go. That's a couple of messengers, one on each side. And gosh, there's so much here. The Booster Club community, AMF Indian River, AMF Norfolk, AMF Western Branch where we are, AMF Williamsburg, Bolero Chesapeake, Bolero Lynn Haven, Century Lanes, and Spare Times. And they're very, very proud. It takes, you know, the amount of volunteers and folks who have to sacrifice some time to keep everything flowing here is something else. And the Pro-Am was massive on Friday.
They had 280 or 290 people for the Pro-Am. 3 squads just full, and it was packed in here. And they had, in fact, it was so crowded that they had to have parking passes for the bowlers, and then they had to have another area to ship the Pro-Am entrance. They had to go to another place, bus them over here because they didn't have enough parking. It's incredible. It's actually amazing how much effort and what they do for this tournament and the money they raise. I mean, it's just incredible. I love coming here. They're great people. The volunteers are wonderful. It's just amazing.
So both guys wrapping things up side by side here at this point. Perfectly understandable why they'd want to move on. And so Tim Foy Jr. will try to uphold the pride of the roommate there, Anthony Nyer, who's going to take 3rd place. And it will be Eric Jones and Tim Foy Jr. And I don't even want to tell you that Tim is more than twice as old as Eric. Now, I say that because I'm a lot more than twice as old as Eric Jones, but still, Tim is 35, not at all an older man. But it's just hilarious, the ability of Eric Jones at this age. And you think about it, there's a lot of good young bowlers in their late teens. Some still in college, some still in high school. It's really something to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, the younger generation, how good they are. I mean, I think just with all the information, all the knowledge that's out there, they can just pick it up and just do amazing things.
And you look over in the women's side, Jillian Martin with a PBA, PWBA title hasn't even started college yet and is a sensation. Jason Belmonte identified her as the next really great bowler of all time, and he may well be right. And again, this is another young bowler, so it's really exciting when you think about the future of the sport. And also, it gets tougher for the 50 group because you got a Chris Barnes coming in there now, starting to win a little bit more than he did last year, and you've still got great ones. Parker Bowden III and what he did this year, and Tom Hess the year before, when I would argue that Tom was the best bowler in the world at one point last year, at any age group. So it's really, the future though is very exciting with bowlers like Nair, bowlers like Eric Jones, coming up and putting the heat on the veterans.
Yeah, it's amazing how we don't need any more good bowlers. You know, it's already tough enough already. Can they just stay in school a little longer?
Well, you need to sponsor a stay in school public service announcement thing. Hey kids, stay in school.
Just go to college for a little bit.
Yeah.
Go get your degree and then maybe come out after a little bit. Give us a chance for a little bit. But Eric did want me to mention that even though he's twice as young as Tim, he's twice the height of Tim.
Well, he is taller. Yes, that is true. And at 17, he may not be finished growing.
No.
But you take a look at the man who led all the way today. He was third at the end of the first day, but took over that lead this morning and ended up really winning going away. 239.76 average for Tim Foy Jr., who owns 2 regional titles. But I wonder, Brian, if most people see him and go, oh, that's the guy who beat Belmo, striking. I think he had to strike out to beat him in Reno. And also Tim has accomplished a few things on TV. He had at major championships, no less. So I don't think he's going to be nervous by this moment at all.
No, he's just hoping that, Chris Foy doesn't come out of the stands and shoot 300 at him. That's kind of what he's hoping for.
It could be like wrestling. That's Chris Foy's music.
Yeah. But, no, Tim's a great bowler. I think, he made a couple telecasts now, and he really likes being able to throw this purple hammer. I know he was telling me that he's gotten really comfortable with this ball, and he's really finding his groove. And I think that's why he led, because once he gets that ball in his hand, he really feels like he can outstrike anybody with it. So he has a lot of confidence in this ball.
Well, he told me earlier that after he got the lead, and he built up a pretty good-sized lead, he said, I kind of played defense. And he said, no more defense. It's all offense from here on in. And but I agree. I think in just talking to him, again, I talked about Nair and his confidence is just the way he carried himself. And just talking to Tim, you sense that he feels he's in control here.
Yeah, I think he's, even though Doherty struggled on this pair, I think he's got a little bit better. What he's doing, how he's throwing the ball, I think he's got a good feel of what the lanes are giving him, and he's led this tournament. I mean, he's bowled really well. I think he's going to give Eric a handful on this match, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
All right, bowler fans, this is for all the week. This is for everything they've come to do at this event. Everybody, this is first place, C. Tim Foy Jr. and a C for Delaware.
Well, I'll give you an idea. Tim today, this morning, 268, 258, 256, 221, 270, and 222.
Is that all?
Yeah, I know. It was terrible. Hopefully, he can do better than that today. And even in the mini block, the 3-game block, to keep the number 1 seed, 256, 218, 227. Eric Jones had a 285 in that first of 3 game blocks earlier today.
And that's really impressive because a lot of, I mean, it was so easy on some of these pairs to shoot 160, 170, and he never did that. So that's impressive what Tim did today.
And the title match begins with a strike on the left-hand lane as Tim Foy Jr. decides he wants Jones to start left and finish right.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he had him finish on the right lane because of that shot that went high in the 9th frame. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
You know, I asked him, I said, how much are you going to watch? And he's like, meh.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, the lefty-lefty thing, there's nothing that's going to be gained by that for him. And he didn't think that Tom Doherty was going to be a big problem as far as messing up his side. And, oh, wow.
Wow, that was a really fast messenger. Holy cow.
And how it missed, I'll never know. Maybe it was too fast.
It needs a pair of glasses. It's blind. But, no, I agree with you. I think that what Doherty did on the lanes isn't going to really affect what Tim's doing. I think all he needs to do is just focus on making some good shots and let the chips fall where they may.
We're bowling for the title of the PBA Booster Club of Hampton Roads Super Regional on the tour. It's the last of our YouTube telecasts, and we certainly want to take a moment to thank all of you who have watched, who have commented. We've had some nice numbers on our broadcasts, and the cool thing, of course, that you can watch.
Wow. Great shot.
Opening double for Jones. He bowled extremely well in defeating Anthony Nair. And again, 17 years old, but bowling with a lot of savvy.
Yeah, just labeling, just shot after shot. I mean, besides the one in the 9th, I mean, they've all been pretty much right there.
And that was a quiet hit. That just did not have a lot of impact, and he is fortunate to have just that 4-7 to deal with.
Yeah, that didn't look like his best shot, but it just looks like the ball's trying to check on him too. It just didn't look like he got off his hand, and even with you could tell with Nair's shots, they were all hooking, and I think he's now finally starting to feel the friction in the front.
Look out!
Oh. Wow.
Completely unexpected error, and dawned on him right at the very end. He takes that extra look at it like, wait, no.
Yeah, I think he was a little surprised his spare ball hooked that much because you could see he looked a little stunned. So, but that's an opening there for Mr. Foy. See if he can take advantage of it.
Well, he's taken advantage of everything since yesterday in this place.
I agree.
Yep, he was into that shot. He stuck around to see that result.
Absolutely. Even though he's not taller than the pins, you know. I told him I had to make fun of him a little bit for his height.
That's
you know?
okay. Well, if I happen to be out there presenting the winner's check to him, maybe I'll say something, but maybe not.
Just say the check's taller than he is. That's what I would say.
You know, it's one of those novelty checks. It's not the largest novelty check I've seen, but it's above average. You're not stuffing that in your wallet.
Gonna have to make room for it in the back seat.
Yep, or find a giant ATM. Oh, look at that. He is into this right now. He knows he's throwing good shots almost as soon as he throws them.
Yeah, I mean, every shot's been really good. I mean, even the one in the first frame, that was just a bad break where the messenger didn't hit it. So it's amazing when you can get the right feel and the right look and just see the lanes correctly, how much confidence you have. And you can just see it on Tim's face. Now let's see what Eric can do after that shot. Let's see what kind of adjustment he makes.
A pretty good one.
Yeah, that was.
I'll go out on a limb there, Brian, and say that was a good adjustment.
Yeah, that was a pretty good shot there. It still tried to creep up on him, so I think he'll still go just a little more. But yeah, that was a really good shot there.
That's got to go, and it does. And I've said that a couple of times, and it always seems to find a way into the pocket.
Yeah, I think his speed is just right to get it to kind of blend off the lane, and he's. 'Cause it was tricky to get it to peel off the gutter this week, and he's got a couple shots out there that have really recovered.
Well, it sends a message to Tim Foy that, yes, I may have missed a makeable spare, but I'm not leaving.
Yes.
I was told there'd be 10 frames here, and you're going to have to bowl them all.
It's not Amish bowling with the 15 frames, or.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
I miss duck pins. And Foy, in the meantime, is just punching these things. He looks like Tiger Woods circa 2000 with the fist pumps right now.
Yeah, he is. You know, those little guys, they got a lot of energy, you know.
Not carrying around as much weight as the bigger people do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he is a bundle of energy right now, and he's got to be feeling on top of this building.
Well, and also probably, you know, he works in a prison, so he's probably
That's right.
used to, you know, having to deal with people bigger than him.
He is a prison security guard. Absolutely right. I couldn't imagine. Could not imagine that.
Nope.
Holy cow. He should write a book. Again, look at him. Look at him. He was walking that one out. And so here's what's happened. He's had 4 strikes and 2, 1 ringing 10 and 2 with a messenger head pin flew off, and the wind almost knocked over the 10 pin, but didn't.
Looked like he just didn't quite get all of this at the bottom. It looked like he kind of saved it, and it still almost got there. It wasn't quite his best shot, but is still in the lead if he makes a spare. All right.
And something non-purple went down the lanes.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yes,
Oh,
today it
okay.
is.
Oh,
It
okay.
is. Non-purple is occasionally cropping up.
Oh. I wasn't aware of that.
No,
They didn't tell me that in the memo.
No. Well, Eric Jones, who I mentioned in the last game, has 2 purple hammers. One is 15, one is 16. And they are twins. It's like the 2 6-toed cats I have in my house. They are twins. If I didn't see that shot, I would have thought that was a split, if I just went off the sound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had that could easily have been a split, and that one broke loose on him again. And it just looks like this right lane is just, you know, even though he threw it really good the last shot, it just looks like it wants to break loose. So I'm not sure what he's going to do, if he's going to try to go to the stronger one and move in more, or what his adjustment's going to be.
Well, nice recovery. I'm impressed with the way he handled the open frame. Missing a 4-7 in the 3rd on this lane. Came right back and struck on this lane in the 5th. But as you can see, trails by 26.
And he has to finish on that right lane. So I think he's going to have to figure out something here soon.
He had strike, and then that 9 spare, but that wasn't a pretty one.
That one kind of that one didn't really want to feed to the left either. It might have been just a pinch in, but it just didn't look like it wanted to push. It definitely read early for him. So I think for Tim Foy, I think you got to say to yourself, this is the opportunity to try to jump all over him and get a double here.
A double would really, really wound Jones.
All right.
So here's Tim Foy Jr.'s opportunity to break loose. Something he doesn't want to see at work, but he wants to see here.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to see things
Doesn't
get
want
loose.
anything running away from him at work, but he's happy to run away from the crowd here. No. I didn't hear anything, but that doesn't mean that something didn't go off or somebody sneezed or something, and he'll get back to refocusing. Such an important shot to him, too. But when you think about it, what's going to shake him up in a bowling center?
Nothing.
Ultimately, you know, so he handled that perfectly.
You work in a prison, I don't really feel like there's too many things that would be intimidating. He's definitely not scared of those pins right now.
Nope, they may be frightened of him, though, because he is wielding a big club and in a position to put Erik Jones on the ropes. Again, he is reading strike about halfway down the lane.
Yeah. And I think he heard me in the booth because I said put a double out there to try to put this thing away. And man, he's just labeling them.
I'm just watching him. I mean, that confidence when you start to walk away before the ball gets there, he knows. Now, the last time he did that, he got burned with a ringing 10, but not this time.
Okay, he's got to strike out here to have any chance in this match.
And he starts on the right-hand lane with a mixer.
Yeah, that was a much better shot. You saw it kind of got through the fronts a little better. Looked like he tried to throw it just a little harder on that shot. Really made the pins dance. Now he's got to have this one to have any chance. Otherwise, it's pretty much Tim's for the taking.
"17 games of qualifying, including 9 today, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, he liked it.
Yeah, he looked like he just stayed a little firmer on those last two shots to just keep the ball in line from breaking loose. Those were excellent.
Foley can still max out. Foy, pardon me, can still max out at 269. So Tim's in a very strong position here.
Yeah, I believe if he just marks, if he gets a mark in the 9th and 10th and good count, he's a winner.
Just collapsing pockets right now.
Do you think he's feeling it?
Well, he's felt it in this building since he showed up yesterday.
Yeah. And, you know, he told me earlier, he said he's had a lot of success in this building. He's had a lot of top 10 finishes. And I think you know, bowlers are, once you get in a building you're comfortable in, it's amazing how the confidence gets there, the strikes start coming. And it's amazing.
Well, look at Matt Russo in Jonesboro now.
Yeah.
He wins a national title there last year. He wins a regional title there this year. There are certain people for certain buildings. As you've heard the expression in golf, horses for courses, or even in horse racing, where it started, but certainly holds true in professional bowling. In certain places, you just walk in and you feel like, oh, this is my house, I win.
Yep.
Well, there's your answer as to who won this event.
Wow.
Tim Foy Jr. is a regional champion for a third time on tour.
Wow. I mean, that was an impressive game right there. I mean, he just labeled just about every shot there. They all hit the pocket. They were all strong. I mean, look at that. He's still running it out.
Yeah. Well, he is in shape, as you can see. So, this is part of his workout regimen, apparently, is throwing games in the 260s while winning regional championships. And he is going to just fire one down the middle, and I've expected that to strike. There's your champ. And what a great championship it was for Tim Foy Jr. to capture his third regional title, and we will meet up with him as soon as I can get down there. Brian, again, my thanks. Have a safe trip back to Morgantown. Hopefully the sports bar is still open when you get there.
Oh yeah, well we'll see. Hopefully, I might just go to the bed. I might just go to bed instead, and then maybe hit there tomorrow. But thanks for having me, Dave. I really appreciate it.
You've been such an asset the last 2 weekends, and I cannot thank you enough. And I know everybody at the PBA and the audience on YouTube is grateful too. Let's catch up with Tim here. Hang on. Let me kill my mic.
All right, bowling fans, the smoke is clear. We've got our new champion coming out of the East region. Let's give a hand to Tim Foy Jr., 266. Toyota Jones, 232. I'm going to hand it over to the YouTube channel.
All right. Well, let's meet our champion. First off, great bowling, Eric. Congratulations to you, to all the Stepladder finalists, to Anthony and to Tom as well. All right. You were confident when we chatted a little while ago. Looked like you had every reason to be confident. Must have killed this and strapped both here, Rick.
Yeah, I mean, I think it looked.
Good luck with the equipment, but good luck with bowling, and that's what counts.
Yeah, I match up well here, so just.
You know what? Don't worry about this. They can hear you.
So I matched up well in this building. I bowled well last year. Apparently carried over this year, so just been riding the wave. But
What is it? We were talking about this on the broadcast. There's certain buildings, certain guys walk in and go, oh, this is my place. Why is this your place?
I feel comfortable here. The people here are great. They make me feel like home. So there's a great group of people here that make it easier to make you feel like home. And then my ball roll just seems to match up on these lanes no matter what pattern. Short, longer, it just doesn't matter. I've matched up well. And unfortunately, I've been able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, no doubt about being able to take advantage of it. A third regional championship for you. You were really into this one. This looks like this meant a lot.
This one did mean a lot. My first one was a non-champ, so that has an asterisk. So my second one, that was the first real one, and this one just confirms that one wasn't a fluke. And then after not bowling the last couple of weeks because of getting hurt, it means more. And then all my friends here and everything, and everyone watching back home just makes it that more special.
That's right. Just for people, maybe this will work a little bit now. For folks who don't know here, he had a close call, almost not being able to bowl with a injury that was kind of a pain, but you got fixed up. Was it here, right?
Yeah, the chiropractor here Friday. I was hurting bad in practice. I didn't practice long, and the programs were even in question. But the chiropractor got me right, and first time ever seeing one. So as soon as I get home, I'm going to see him another one.
All right, let's hear it for your champion, everybody, Tim Foy Jr. Is there a check around here? I know there's a check somewhere. Here we go. Yes, best part of the day over here.
On here, Terry and Joey. And also, just take a moment. This is
Going to be our final broadcast of the Super Regional Summer on YouTube, on the PBA channel. You can watch this. It's as many times as you'd like. I bet Tim watches this a couple times just to boost our ratings. But thank you for your attention to the tour and for all of your time. The players love you guys and really love coming here, so thank you very much, and we will see you again. For the YouTube broadcast, I'm Dave Lamont. Thanks to Brian Robinson, thank you to Nat, and to Luis, and to all of you all who have watched over this summer on these Super Regionals. We'll see you again. Have a great one.
All right, let's get Tim Foy Jr.